What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. And today we got to talk about Kimberly Martin and the fire she's under on social media. Now, I didn't see this live. I was doing some other things, but some comments she made about the comment that Cam Newton made regarding Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott as game managers, they're saying that she disrespected him. And I'm going to go back and show y'all, Shannon Sharpe actually said what she said earlier. And I want y'all to tell me, did she disrespect Cam Newton? My take on it is I feel like Cam is entitled to his opinion. I mean, he only went to a Super Bowl I MVP of the league, so he's going to have a take. No matter how much we agree or disagree with it, he has a take and he's looking at it, you know, from a different perspective than most of us are. Now, some people are saying like putting Dak with Purdy, you know, that's not fair to Dak. And I will say Dak in this stretch, like after the Niners game, he has been playing like at a above game manager level, you know what I'm saying? But some of the Cowboys fans that I know were ready to get rid of Dak not long ago, man. So we're going to check out what Kimberly Martin, well, first we're going to see what Cam said. We're going to check out what Kimberly Martin had to say. And then we're going to listen to what Shannon said earlier this year with Skip Bayless. Let's check it out.
Brock Purdy, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and really, Dak Prescott. These are game managers. They're not difference makers.
When you say game manager, I'm not asking you to go out and win the game. I'm just asking you not to lose.
Not to lose the game. Exactly. Listen, I don't give a damn what you do. You don't have to score every time. You just don't have to throw a pick every time either. If we're going to really call a spade, there's a difference between managers of the game and difference makers of a game.
Like, give me a break. I'm just so, like, honestly, like, move past the outfit for a second. He literally said, in the year of 2023, where it's all about NFL backups, where is Cam? Not on an NFL roster, right? So he's talking about all these NFL game managers. He sounds like the people literally tweeting at me from their basement, like, get back in the kitchen. Like, it's like you are at home watching me. Like just turn the TV off.
Probably
like,
in the kitchen.
Like, it just sounds so foolish.
None of those players to me are game managers. Now, here's the controversial part. Here's the little hint of truth in what he's saying is that I always think about quarterbacks in the NFL like cooks versus chefs. A cook is someone who executes established recipes, whereas a chef is someone you can just roll out there. Aaron Rodgers is a chef. You don't really need a fully baked out offense for Aaron Rodgers. He can go out there, figure it out because he has such an offensive field. There are very, very few quarterbacks like that. Do I think Dak Prescott, Tua, Brock, and Jared are benefiting from incredible offensive coordinators who are giving them great game plans? Absolutely. But that is NFL football. That is not a game manager.
You're dressed too nicely to agree with Cam.
Yeah, exactly.
You clearly just said what he said, just use some different words.
Tell me how these randoms keep getting jobs.
Video.
Cam, it's 2023. You one of them randoms. I hate to break it to him, Skip.
Yeah.
The last time Cam Newton won a game was 2020. The last time he passed for 3,000 yards in a season was 2018. The last time he started every game in the season was 2017. The last time he started a playoff game was 2017. The last time he made the Pro Bowl was 2015. Cam is basing everything on what he once was. I don't know if Cam has looked at film from 2020 and 2021, but he wasn't good. I don't know who's in his ear. I don't know, because Skip, I'm going to keep it 100 with you and everybody that's watching, and Cam.
And him.
Cam, you hadn't been good for a very long time, bro. And all you do is put down, well, how these randoms. I'm going to tell you something. They probably not telling you in your circle. That's how the league looks at you now. You're one of them randoms. You're not a guy that says if we get Cam Newton, he's going to alter the trajectory of our franchise. That's not how they perceive you. That's not how they're looking at you. Now, the question is these randoms get jobs. Are you willing to be a backup? Everybody, I can be a backup. And then the first thing he does when he gets there and it's not going his way, well, how this guy starting in front of me? Teams don't want that. This is not 2015 when you led a team to the Super Bowl. No. You were the MVP. I want somebody to tell me since 2015 that Cam Newton has been really good. Okay, Cam Newton has been good. Not based on what he did. He was Rookie of the Year. He's been a Pro Bowl player. He's an MVP. But how long ago? So how long do we get to live on what we've done based on what we're going to do?
Yeah.
And that's how team, Skip, remember when we talked about this, we was talking about somebody, Odell. Odell once upon a time was a top 2, top 3, top 5 receiver.
He was.
He's no longer that. At one point in time, Cam was a top 5 quarterback. He's no longer that. So what are you supposed to do, Skip? Once upon a time, Cam was an MVP.
Yeah.
Do you know how long ago that's been? That was a land far, far away. That was different teams ago. That was different years ago. Man, we got to stop this notion and keep stopping these guys that, he was once good. Okay, yes, he was. Cam was outstanding. But be honest with yourself. Cam isn't that same player anymore. And he hasn't been that player for a very, very, very long time.
So Cam, on this podcast, obviously he's in that world now, and he does have to get some clicks. So he has to have some hot takes. But I also think Cam is coming from a genuine place, and these things will play themselves out over time. So he has to stand on this opinion one way or another. If Brock Purdy goes out and he's not a game manager down the road, then he got to stand on that. If Tua ends up not being that, he's got to stand on that. Dak as well, but these guys, I think some of these quarterbacks get penalized for having a good team. And you can't just, my point with that has always been, you can't just throw any NFL quarterback out there and have the same success that they're having. So that's always been my thing. But yes, if you want to look at game manager in a way, it's like in the NBA where people used to say Kawhi Leonard was a system player for the San Antonio Spurs. Then he went to Toronto and won. He was able to show that, okay, no, I might have been in the beginning, but I've grown past that. And, I think players can start off as system guys and they can elevate past that at some point. But to Cam's point, man, Cam was saying like Lamar Jackson and those guys are game changers. And, hey, you can't really, you could disagree with it, but you can't say his take is just the craziest take ever. And Kimberly Martin, man, I knew this day was coming just based off some of her takes and the way that she goes about it. I knew that she would be in this same boat with Qerim and what's the girl name? Malika Andrews. I knew eventually she was going to say something like that, but hers is more geared towards the NFL. So I'm going to be interested to see how Cam comes back, what he has to say about this, because he has a podcast, and I'm pretty sure with the way this thing is blowing up, he's going to have a little bit to say about it. But yeah, man, he's entitled to his opinion about that. Do he want eyes on his podcast? Absolutely. I think the biggest reason this thing is getting so much backlash is because he talked about the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, and he talked about the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. And you know what I'm saying? Those are two teams that, especially how good they're doing, they're going to have a lot to say to Cam, about that. And Cam, not too long ago, was still trying to be in the NFL. So I think that's why people are coming at him so strong. But it doesn't take away from him having a voice and talking about the game. I'm going to leave y'all with this. What this shows me is that I remember when athletes used to get mad and say, oh, man, you ain't never played the game. You ain't never, you ain't never been out there on the field. You ain't never been on the court. So how you going to tell us? Now that we have people in those positions that critique like that, the athletes are never going to be satisfied. So it could be a former athlete. It could be somebody fresh out the league. It's going to say, oh, you washed up. You a has-been. And so it's never, journalists and athletes are never going to really see eye to eye when there's some criticism involved. But that's just my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.